Ladies and gentlemen, let's see if we can stick this one out. Cross all your fingers and your toes. It is Orbit versus Trinity.
Big
and
one.
We are in on Clubhouse, the first map of the night for these two teams. Down into the basement goes Trinity. Let's have a quick roster rundown while they set up their defenses. For Orbit, K9, Canadian, Kicks, Snake, and Young. And for Trinity, King George GV, Easy Peasy Lemon Squeezy, Pojo Man, Exclusive, and Mint.
No surprises on either of those teams.
No, they are all tried, true, and steady. Mint doing the construction reinforcements then. Trinity doing 3 along the front edge of church and 1 here to gold.
Nice
that
training.
actually gives a lot of movement in this whole area here for the attacking team. It's not always too good to do that. Thermite onto this wall can do a lot of damage.
There's some wire at least.
There is a little bit to slow them down. Nothing here in the blue corridor, just some barbed wire to slow down that push. A couple of kill holes now being made by Pojo Man. Upstairs, King George is late to come down after reinforcing, but he's done his cameras, so that's the job. And hey ho, here come the attacking Orbit machine.
Saw some good droning without those drones getting killed. I expect some fast attacking.
So, in towards the bar already, the drones are there. Snake takes out that camera. I think he actually missed it.
Oh, playing it cautious.
Yeah, cautiously checking around as the drones will pop up a couple of shots, and the drones check another angle just to make sure he is definitely clean and safe. And
Oh, nearly tags him mid-jump.
yeah, but gets himself with an angle down.
Doesn't like those bottles.
Young now coming on in as Orbit checking the floors are clear. King George now has a tight angle here towards the kitchen door. Looking now towards the windows as Kicks he hears open this up. Kicks won't come on through then.
Is he going to go for that C4 if they come in there? Thinking he might.
He's looking to shoot them, if not C4 them.
Yeah.
But yeah. Give us both a shot, I'm sure. It's commonly played here with obviously a pulse underneath, especially now with the new one. But when you've got these holes instead, you need the pulse, you can just see it.
I find it works pretty well. If nothing else, the 2 different holes give you a good indication on which side it's being placed.
So, easy peasy checking the cameras from downstairs as the bar drop has already been blown open. They do drop Canadian in, and there he is in that corridor now that's been fully reinforced, completely safe.
He's ready
To do this charge. It's going to be right on the wall with Easy Peasy next to him. He will have to now run away to a safer spot. King George's C4 comes through and over the top of that reinforcement. The second one will come out to the stairs. They kill the barbed wire they placed there themselves, but don't get any kills. Just take Canadian down to half health.
That's all he needs.
He's now looking at a distance down through the kill holes that were made here by the defending team. No one revealing themselves to it though, as Mint tries to throw smoke grenades up and through the same hole
So
the
close.
barbed wire came through. Sorry, the C4 came through. First one doesn't land right, second one lands on the roof and gets shot out.
Checking that church.
Checks on through, finds the first man to shoot him, has a look towards the blue kill hole, but there's no one in there until
Pojo.
Pojo Man is going to look to peek into it.
So close.
Doesn't quite come far enough out. Canadian now looking at a slightly better angle for that peek.
If only they could see what we see. Oh,
Just missing his head.
knows he's there now.
Yep. Kicks is also droning down there as another man will drop him from bar with him. Pojo Man at another kill hole. It's going to be pre-fired, but he's not close enough to that either anymore. His thermite charge got killed, by the way, by the C4. That's why it hasn't blown a hole in the wall, and
Makes
that'd be
sense.
the second charge down.
Oh,
Mint is now prone, and
legs.
his legs are getting beaten up by that shot coming through from Canadian.
Penetration, slow down now.
Young trying to get into the corner to pick up one kill,
Oh.
gets peppered in the chest, and he does get taken out. They actually trade, Pojo Man and Canadian, go 1 for 1 on each other. Exclusive now cleaning up 3 very
Wow.
quick kills here on Kicks, K9 and Snake. Exclusive. Where did
Bringing
that
it.
come from behind? One onto blue, second one onto blue, and they actually lined up for him as they sprinted through church.
Well, that's nice of them.
Yeah, that was very nice indeed.
Wow.
And that C4 killing that thermite charge, locking them out of church, completely halted
Yeah.
the push in from Orbit.
Was not super lethal, but I gotta give him credit for those C4 throws that were not expected by Orbit. Definitely an interesting strategy that looks like paid off. Can't imagine Orbit falling for that again, though.
No, they're going to be ready for it. But to be fair, there's not a whole lot they can do about it.
Yeah.
They can't really stop that coming that way. And hey ho. Now it's Orbit down onto defense of the same location.
See if they play it a little bit differently. Throwing some barbed wire down some different spots. K9 going to reinforce that construction tunnel. Looks like they run into place for a second there. Hopefully we don't get too many more hiccups here.
10 seconds remaining. 5 seconds to insertion.
So, Orbit beginning their setups below, as we do have all the trapdoors done up top. They are bringing that castle to the table now too, and we've seen this in the past, locking up the doorway here, and locking up the doorway here at the construction tunnel, and then locking up the doorway here at the front end, just the big angles in, but they are using one here by bar dropper instead. So we'll see where the second one, or the third final one goes. Yeah, construction tunnel.
Makes sense, so you could try and at least control the drop from church.
Yeah. K9 here, prone at this one, which we've seen teams in the past just immediately drop something down. They see it, reinforcement. All right, drop down, punch it open. K9 would stop that straight away. So, second map for the Lunatic Ace game was Plane, and Lunatic won it 5 rounds to 3. So they are now joint on points with Trinity. So Trinity's gameplay here could mean the difference between second and third place for them. The round difference will come into play unless they can get a single map. Something which so far nobody else has done against Orbit. But they're off to a good start with the 1 round in the bag.
That's the way to do it, right?
Mm-hmm. So
hopefully they can at least pull off an interesting attack here.
it's definitely interesting as things stand. They are continuing on forward. As we do now see the drones coming down the front stairs and in towards the bar they head. King George on this stairwell is a little bit cautious of any C4s that might be waiting for him underneath. We've seen it done in the past. We do see a couple of shots, a couple of explosions and sledges coming on through.
It's always nice to have that angle onto that door right there. It is castled though, so they're not going to be able to do a lot with that angle.
No, he's going to clear out this barbed wire first as the shotgun comes onto the floor above from Buck to give a lot of different angles down and in. George now coming down, he knows he's got a breaching charge of this barbed wire open. He's looking for both, but they're not close enough together, so he will do them one at a time.
Fortunate for him.
The next one, he could actually run into that one and punch it. It's already going to be low health, I believe.
Yeah, and they're going to be on that castle. The castle door over there is going to make it easy for him to do that unless they're looking underneath it.
Using the second breach charge then to crack open the wall into gold. The second one that's not reinforced. We've seen teams in the past rush in there towards the B for a plant. Exclusive has the diffuser and he is up and above the blue drop up. Flashbangs coming in and K9 is refusing to move. King George is watching the far angle. There's K9 with the first kill onto Pojo Man. He just held where he was in Generator and that's killing the man that dropped into Pit. Smoke's coming out at the end and here comes the rush for King George. He runs straight through the crosshairs of Kix and it's an easy kill for him. Kix now has got them lining up coming in for him. He gets one with a pistol, looking for another one. He gets that one as well and it's a beautiful move. Kix picking up 2 pistol headshots that round. As the first man comes in, it's a nice easy one. The next one misses a couple of shots and flicks it over to the third.
Kix is good with that pistol, though.
Kix is good with everything.
That's true. It's true. I mean, to be fair, I've seen a lot of times Orbit give up a round or two at the beginning and then just go on a long streak of winning after.
Yeah,
so
I mean, right there, that came down to Orbit had their spots. They held their spots. Trinity found those spots. Didn't know how to get them out of those spots. So, all right, well, we've got a way into B. Let's all just pile on into it and see if we can kill them as we go. No, you run into Kix, who's just going to pick you all off before you can even stop shooting, stop running.
Rushing Kix rarely works.
Guy had beautiful placement, and now it is Orbit on attack again as the defensive team, forced into the bomb site up top, going to have a tougher time now this Orbit team have found their flow.
It's going to be their punishment for winning that round downstairs.
Yeah, now they are forced onto this site themselves, and it's a much more spread out site with 2 very different bomb sites to defend. If you're defending A, if the push comes in from Strip Club, we've seen teams reinforce in here and play within here. Some teams get slaughtered doing that. It's a very tough hold to pull off. Or you can see the push coming over to here towards B, which is a much smaller, tighter fight, which is easier to hold with a shotgun or 2, but very tough to retake if the plant goes down.
You commonly see Valkyrie playing in there for exactly that reason. They did do an interesting shotgun hold down there at the bottom, kind of a wider one, not so much a crawl hole. We'll give him some good access to shoot into there from the bar area.
4 players downstairs, Mint upstairs, looking for a cheeky peek out towards the spawn and the shipping docks. There was a player in that direction, but
just missed him. Mint just wants to stay on these stairs in case he needs to rotate wherever he needs to go, which is good. You never know if you might need to get back upstairs, hold him off from coming down. Everyone just kind of stick in their place, feeling this out. This Orbit attack, though, probably will come on pretty fast once they've got enough intel. Although, I have to say that first round, we saw them playing very cautiously yet aggressively. And I like that style, you know, where they're coming in, they kind of know where everyone's at, they're playing it pushing forward constantly, but not too fast. Mint was droned out though. It's going to force him back downstairs. Not going to give him quite the run power he had before. Already the pool window open and the pool wall open. Good start for Orbit.
A lot of pushing coming in from that end there now. As now Young with that black pitch can just happily sit there on the edge, looking on over what's coming his way. And picking them off one by one as they make themselves known. It's a beautiful spot for a Blackbeard player to sit in.
Hard to get that
Horrible
C4 throw
to
in
play
there.
against.
Yeah. Not ideal for the other team. Carefully droning.
Yep, Snake still droning upstairs. Kix is still watching the corridor in case it flushes anyone out and any kind of movement coming their way.
Nice play up here using this wall. They didn't really have a good reason to reinforce it. Makes it easy for him to use it like this. He's really expected someone to come up there, though.
They are. As Canadian now coming in through the strip club. Has already helped flow one wall open. He's now coming to rejoin. K9's drone just gets killed off in the front entrance, and they haven't killed any Trinity players yet, but they're now starting to know where it is they are. K9 watching easy peasy around here to his right-hand side. He's also got King George to his left.
Slowly collapsing on him.
Young repositioning away. Canadian has the diffuser, and he's going to go in for a plant. Let's see if they can cover him. On the stairs, Mint has a line up towards this spot. Snake is above. Looking for it. Canadian's plant has already begun though. He actually jumps out the window as a couple of shots and C4s come his way. K9 picks up the first kill as easy peasy looks to try and rotate out from the lounge location, but K9 is danced on by Exclusive. Upstairs, Mint stands up again. Snake peeks in behind and there's Mint with an easy shot onto him from Young. Exclusive is now close and underneath. The diffuser is down and these two players have to take it back. Young going to look away, and that gives Exclusive a moment to rethink. He's looking at the footsteps underneath. He's looking out the window now, but Canadians repositioned around. Kix is taking King George out as he was still upstairs. This wall, their own reinforce now is working against Exclusive. He knows Young is in here somewhere. He's got to push in, and it's a Blackbeard, which is a terrifying thought, and he had to do it fast without being collapsed from behind. And as you talked about, Orbit may have just started that roll.
Yeah, that was... I don't think they lost a single guy, did they? It was a pretty solid attack. They had a lot of nice angles. One. Ooh. Yeah, it was a nice, calm push where they just slowly surrounded, got all the angles they needed, opened the wall, but didn't run it like, you know, crazy people. Just held it, waited for the right moment. It was not an easy defense for them at that point. I feel like they needed some better angles on defense to do something about it, but obviously Orbit have planned this out well.
So, now it's time for Orbit to defend the same location. And, I mean, we saw the same problem there for Trinity as we saw on their last attack. It was that Orbit got into their spots, and even though they knew where they were, they couldn't do anything to shake them out of it. They were just stuck, and they were just allowing Orbit to go wherever Orbit pleased.
That's the power of spending time researching your angles, placing your spots. I mean, that's the point, right? You want to practice and figure out angles that are really hard to dig you out of. And they did. I think we're going to see a lot more of that. I mean, this is something that Orbit are known for. And getting to see this from the spectator view or from the view of a first person, it's nice to see like the power that you can get from doing something like that.
Canadian upstairs in the gym and the bedroom now is giving himself a little crawl hole between the two while reinforcing off one of the entrances. Breaking the trapdoor and sealing up the doorway. Easy peasy lemon squeezy is coming quickly up to this location. So now cracks it open and above.
I definitely want to do it top down.
Rappelling one side. Didn't know how close he is. Exclusive actually gets Kix as the first kill. That's
wow.
Jaeger off, and Kix has been huge the last two defenses. Nice shot from Exclusive for that one.
Well done.
Blackbeard firing a couple of shots in now over the top as well to help him out. They've got very quickly inside this strip club. Pressuring in towards B itself. Up on the roof, there's still a lot of pressure going down, which is exactly where Canadian is still sitting. The grenade comes in, lands right in front of him. It doesn't do too much damage, and he gets away to safety, but they'll have heard him scream, so they know he's definitely there after droning him. George grabbing another kill of his own, this time onto Snake. Young is down in the main lobby doorway. K9 prone at one end of the room here as well, looking towards B on the cameras, checking A. Mint taking down Canadian upstairs. Now it's just a two-man defense from Orbit, and we talked about this potential sweep Orbit had going. And, well,
like it.
Trinity just turned around and said, no, we're not ready for that.
Yeah.
This is not that time. Exclusive and Pojo Man still in the strip club, looking to come inside, but Young cannot get eyes on them from there. K9, however, can just about see the top of Pojo Man's head. While he's on the reload, he still can't land the shot, though. Pojo now starting to pressure K9, and the plant is going through, but it's a easy shot with that shield in front of his face. Outside goes Young, and realizes the window's not even open. He's now detected. Nothing he can do as they try and reach out for him, and King George sprints out the window for an easy kill and an easy round. Trinity didn't lose a single man.
Wow.
And get a perfect ace, team ace, against Orbit Gaming.
Perhaps not their best defensive spot. It was a little bit of a steamroll towards the end there. Did not expect that. I mean, once we lost kicks at the beginning, it just seemed to go downhill from there. This was Trinity's map pick, I believe.
This was.
Now we see why.
They had that figured out. Now they're back down towards the basement. It is still a 2-2 scoreline. They didn't hold this too well in their last attempt. Can they get better?
We'll see if they try those little C4 cheeky throws again. Definitely got to get those just right, though. You don't want that sticking to the wall on you.
No, they were two very good C4 throws. The smoke throws didn't work out quite so well, though. But yeah, as they did stop the thermite charge, it got its job done, and they were able to win the round with it. See if they can do the same thing again, as upstairs they're still getting a couple of reinforcements done. Exclusive finds a drone or two. King George doing his last couple of reinforcements in kitchen, making the holes in the floor, and then heading down the stairs again.
Attackers recovered the diffuser. Attackers are moving out.
Attackers are making their way forward again once more, very aggressively into the fold.
Doesn't look like they might have reinforced any of the utility wall there. Looks like they just want to use it for kill holes and roam 2 men in there. Just reinforce the other wall facing the hallway. Pojo Man deciding to stay in there as Exclusive leaves. They don't have any kind of castle door or anything to slow them down, just that barbed wire. It is good to put it on that corner like that, though. When you get people trying to peek around that corner, trying to get where Pojo Man is, it does slow them down quite a bit and make that fast peek harder to do.
So, Orbiter once again in upstairs, kicks his journey in the top floor. K9, Snake coming in from the bar and the pool table. Canadian journeying from the extra outside right in spawn, and Young is pushing in through garage slowly but surely. Right on board with kicks, because now that he's moving, he's getting pretty rapid about it. Making his way in towards the bar, and they are comfortable that the rest of these floors are clear.
It's unfortunate for Trinity. They don't have anyone up there to make it much harder.
Thermiting onto the trapdoor to begin with gives them into bar dropper. Now we're looking for a movement down. They once again realize that everything is the same in that corridor next to it. We'll bring the barbed wire right under the dropper. Exclusive now repositioning around to giving a spot where he could have sprayed anyone that dropped and then ran away again. Looking to help out in the corridor from pits, because Young is sitting here with a shield in front of his face, dealing with Pojo Man.
It was interesting to see that Blackbeard push attempted on that tunnel.
Flashbang's coming down, taking out the
Jaegers
systems and allowing the EMP to go in, take everything else out.
Nicely played.
Pojo Man has moved up into a slightly more aggressive position in this tunnel, because they're going to thermite the chopper above him. They've already done it, so they drop down in with flashbangs going right off and deafening and blinding him.
Ooh.
Grenade comes in and downs him, but he gets himself back up because it's a dock, and the invulnerability allows him to get away with it, but that grenade will finish him off afterwards from Snake. Young now is able to push aggressively forward. He sees Mint, and he does down him with the last couple of bullets in his weapon. King George not close enough to peek out with that Spaz 12. Exclusive. Don't get the bullets down in time. Prone is an easy headshot for Young as most of the shots hit the shield. Another drop just came in. King George does get Snake after he drops in from the above. Looking to peek around the corner, and it's a good kill onto Blackbeard as well. King George might be looking to turn this here for Trinity. Easy peasy, he's inside church, and he's locked them inside the bar dropper because of it. Cautious of moving forward because of King George, but now they've got to look for their right-hand side. Easy peasy, he's going to get the side of K9's head, and it's an easy shot for him, and that's the diffuser down. King George just spraying from a distance. Kicks has got to come in, he's pre-firing it, but he cannot get the right angle, and Easy peasy gets another one. Switches to his revolver. Can he get Canadian as well? Yes, he can, and it's a round win for Trinity.
That was an impressive showing there. I mean, they really picked him off in church with that Blackbeard, but that easy peasy right there. I've seen so many revolver kills from that guy. He really knows how to use it. I'm not surprised to see him switch to it. That duck and bounce back up really, I guess, threw Canadian off.
Yeah, did the job, got it good and done, and Trinity take the lead once more.
This is not how I expected this to turn out.
I wouldn't be surprised if you are not alone with that thought. Orbit, currently undefeated, have never even dropped a map this season.
Ooh,
Their closest competition as far as points and record goes is Junctis from Europe, who are 6-1. They only lost one game completely. They lost both maps. Could Orbit be about to do the same thing?
They want to match Europe,
Need to locate and
map
defuse
for
the
map.
bomb.
Yeah, could we be looking at this? Bearing in mind, remember that Trinity only actually need one single map here to secure themselves second place.
Lunatic got to be watching this close if they're done.
Yeah, Lunatic got to be quaking in their boots. Seeing easy peasy pull off those 3 kills there would have really upset them. But hey ho, we still got a couple more rounds to go, and as we mentioned, Orbit are not unknown for their miracle comebacks.
No, I mean, I've seen them easily give 2 rounds at the beginning to just feel things out, but they've given 3 rounds so far, so looking for that steamroll comeback.
10 seconds to
Last
go.
time they defended this site, it was a complete rollover.
It's true.
Trinity need to think of something special to overcome that deficit, so to speak, and have a different result with this attack.
Attackers are moving in
Perhaps
to
a more
locate
vertical
bomb and
approach.
defuse it.
Perhaps so. They tried a very horizontal rush strategy last time. They walked straight into Kicks, who just had a laugh. Cut them all down with his pistol in hand.
Horizontal massacre.
Will they be better this time over? King George very quickly inside the bar already. He's checking the little angles towards kitchen and bar itself before taking out the cameras. The drones are killing him. Majority of it is clear, and I think they're all expecting it to be 2. Orbit happy to play all 5 members downstairs again.
A lot of good drone coverage here. Don't want to walk around not knowing where those roamers are if there is any. Just making sure that kitchen's clear. Maybe they'll have exclusive go in there and blow that hatch. Or at least tear up the floor a bit. Castle door is going to be a pain for them. They're going to have to waste probably an ass charge on that unless they're going to bring easy peasy down there to sledgehammer it. And that's going to be one less they can use on that barbed wire. Which hopefully are spread out enough that they're not going to be able to take out both at the same time. I mean, we almost always see Ash at that door. Just pretty
Ash
much
or
3 attacks.
Blackbeard.
Yeah.
Because of how immovable he is when he gets into that doorway. But as you mentioned, Sledge is going down first, and they will be checking with the drone that it's clear underneath, that he can sledge it open and then
Good
get
call.
away to safety.
He wants that one too. This hallway's always a dangerous peak. You never know who's on the other side there. Either in church or all the way in Arsenal, just the armory just facing in. Looks like he's going to take out the grenades.
I was thinking about it, but no, they call him down and say,
Located by
hang
attackers.
on a minute, they're
No,
looking
we'll
for
do it.
cameras.
Yeah. That's right, they've got to still be on the lookout for those Valkyrie cameras. Might just be giving away that they're all standing right there.
Does hold the angle as Ash will shoot them open and is there in case someone tries to peek out to stop her.
Just gotta be careful of the shooter in the back of the head.
Now sprints across towards the next one, the bar dropper. Cracks this one open too. There's a camera right there waiting for him to be spotted. He doesn't see it. They're going to peek around and it's an easy kill when they know he's stuck in the barbed wire. Canadian will mop that up.
Canadian known for his shotgun kills. Definitely does work.
King George now in that spot we talked about having him earlier on. Looking for something, but Orbit once again are just not peeking out. They have these static spots. They don't need to move from it. And Trinity are doing nothing to make them move from it.
And already man down on it.
Do this time get the
Oh, look
church
right
wall
at him.
blown open, but Canadian is not as tucked away as he thought he is. He does get downed and not killed, but King George will come in and finish him off in a moment, no doubt. They cannot get over to revive him. Smoke grenades coming out to lock that hole open, and with only 15 seconds on the clock, that's all that matters. Kicks with his head blown off by King George, and Pojo Man gets Canadian. Young will get Pojo. There could be a chance in here for the plant. Exclusive gets in, but it's taken out by the shotgun of Young. He's now holding the same spot, and straight into that they go. Mint the last man standing, and all they do is run away from him. He cannot get close enough to kill 3 people, let alone even 1. And Orbit hold around again to make it 3 rounds to 3.
Some good shotgun kills at that round once they finally pushed into church.
We saw the unbeaten record for Orbit, and we were hoping at the very least we'd get a close game here from Trinity, and that is exactly what we've been given. They're now onto defense again, but they're upstairs once more.
Let's see how that goes through. I mean, I think they had a pretty good upstairs defense.
No, they got slaughtered.
But it just got torn apart.
Yeah.
Because Orbit just had the right angles to just take it down. I imagine they've got to have at least seen what happened last time.
Need to locate and
Try and
defuse
prepare
the bomb
somewhat
if
for
they
it.
can.
So, in their setup once more. Once again, no crawl hole between A and B, but they do get the foot level kill holes, so they can see and shoot at it from this little bottom of the stage area.
Obviously, the idea is you don't want to let anyone who gets into B be able to just waltz into bar.
Yeah, and for them to be able to see through it, because they don't have this lowered section, they have to go completely prone, which is in very immobile state.
Yeah, not a good way to get through.
10 seconds left before insertion.
I don't see anyone upstairs. Do we? It looks like the upstairs got used against them last time. Okay, good. He is reinforcing it. They are going to have to use thermite to try and get that open. I remember them opening that last time, using that as an angle against them.
Yeah. Staying up top for a little bit longer now before heading his way down. Pojo Man in the bar, checking cameras, easy peasy in lounge. King George comes out of the B site to rethink and reposition a camera, I think? No, reinforcing. Late reinforcing here by the kitchen corridor.
Luckily for him, no one's coming in kitchen just yet.
No, nor are they rushing B while he's no longer in there. Exclusive now watching over towards Strip Club, because Orbit are looking to come in this very same spot again. It works out so well for them last time, there's no reason to change it. He's now looking to prone his way back inside B as the flashbangs are coming in. Canadian easy blowing on the wall. Up above now, is he going to go up and do that soon? We'll see afterwards. Young is just watching that spot, same as before, as Mint is on the stairwell. He's going to dodge away a couple of the bullets. Young sends his way.
They didn't really have a good angle with Mint right there last time. I'm not sure what they're going to do different against this.
No, they're doing exactly the same right now. Still leaving everyone downstairs. Mint still watching the stairwell where he was. Pojo Man is looking directly above him at this man that is sitting there static.
I think that floor you'd shoot through.
You can.
Probably should use that shotgun. Oh, and he's got the UMP. Not as good through the floor.
Not as ideal. He sees the next one inside there as well. Now he's going to try and see for it, but it's too late now.
Now they can use that hole against you. Hopefully you're not going to stand underneath it.
Yeah, meanwhile King George has been downed in the stairwell by a snake. Mint is going to revive him though.
A bomb has been located.
With every little man and every little shot that's coming out of Orbit, look how far Trinity have been pushed back and away from this A site. They're now all over towards B. The trapdoor is going to get blown by ease because the C4 is already gone. They're going to be able to get in and plant because the C4 is already gone from Pojo Man. He can't throw it up and over. K9 now taking that easy peasy lemon squeezy, trying to flank around from outside as well. And once more, it looks like Trinity have got to have to do something incredibly special to turn this round back in their favor. Orbit just pushing them all away from the site without even having to kill them.
I mean, at least they've got the pulse this time to call these things out, but they're not doing anything about it. Like, hey, I know he's over here, but I can't do it.
Yeah. He's just tracking them with the heartbeats. He knows they're above. Of course they know he's above, but then as the EMP goes off, that will block his
That's right.
heartbeat sensor for a little bit, and the plant is going off. He rushes forward, but Young is there waiting for him. He doesn't actually get the shot. Good shot, Pojo Man. That
Nice
could be
dodge.
big, making that work and getting it to survive. Now checking up and above, he's prone. There's the man above with the grenade in hand. It comes down right back over his head.
Oh.
Blows off behind him, and he will go down to be finished off by Snake from above, but it is very close. Snake is now very low as well. 20 seconds on the clock, though. It could be what it took. If that's enough to delay Orbit, they need to stop one more planter, and things could go their way. King George is looking to push forward with the C4 in hand, but Young will get him. Exclusive now the next man, and Snake's going to get him. And here it is. This is what we expected. Mint coming up from underneath now. He has to stop this plant. So it's already down. He's got to defuse it and kill 4. Nice shot. Takes Snake out without taking too much damage. Now looks to go up and above. Out there on the edge, though. Kix was waiting for that with such a huge range, thanks to that not being reinforced. That Orbit do take the lead again. 4 rounds to 3.
That was unfortunate for Mint, thinking he was retreating to safety, only to lose the round for the team without them having to plant. Just bad luck at that spot.
Trinity, you've got to successfully attack the bar in the stockroom to get yourselves overtime on this map. Now, it sounds like a mountain because it's Orbit, but last time they attacked it,
Not
it was
so
a
good.
5-0 sweep.
So, Trinity, do what you did last time, and this won't be over so soon.
Defenders, protect your bombs from being defused
Orbit
by
with your
attackers.
setup. Are you going to change anything? Are you going to adjust? Because you did get rolled over before.
If anything from Orbit, what we saw last time in the LAN finals, they are really good at adapting what they're doing. I expect at least some changes here. Nothing too obvious yet, though. Reinforcing that club wall, they want to make sure it's not so easy just waltz in there.
Yeah, forcing to use a couple of extra thermite charges to get in.
They do want to run Pulse over there, it looks like, to make sure that they have an idea when they're coming over there.
5 seconds
Maybe that will
left
make
before
some kind of
insertion.
difference for them. But he decides to just back off anyways.
Attackers recovered the diffuser.
Here
Attackers'
they
objective
go.
is to defuse a bomb.
The attack is coming their way.
I'm actually surprised we haven't seen anyone bandit the strip club wall to just
Also,
slow down.
by the way, by reinforcing the strip club here, they're not reinforcing the wall here from Paul. So if they do lose strip, it's going to be a nice easy move into Paul here for Trinity.
Interesting choice. Definitely not going to do anything with the batteries then.
No, it is a different play. They're now going to blow it open, in fact. Use it as a fallback. Use it as a rotate.
Interesting. We'll definitely see how that plays out pretty soon here as King George is already approaching and Pojo Man's on another part of the wall.
All right. Canadian's been droned out by Easy Peasy now. They're looking to move on in. It's right on board with King George as he is pushing aggressively into the site. And around he goes to get kicks as the first man. Gets out with half of his health taken off, but he'll take that half for the kill.
Worth it.
Canadian looked to chase him now as well, and he's now being collapsed in on from the right-hand side instead as Pojo Man is coming that way with his Blackbeard support.
This is on Canadian to slow this down. If he doesn't get that one kill.
Easy. Pre-fires it, so the drone will come and find it from the other angle.
Not good for Canadian here.
No, flashbang's going to blow right in his face.
Oh.
They're going to push in with it though. Yeah, they push in from behind him, and it's a nice easy kill as he's very, very lost. Good start for Trinity. Orbit trying something different, but failing at that again. Now Snake here on the new Pulse is going to have a good vision of the strip club and what's coming his way.
Yeah.
Can he do anything
I don't
to
think he's
stem
gonna.
the tide?
He's not gonna like what he sees.
C3 coming in, now the hole to his right-hand side is being blown open by King George.
Oh,
The flashbangs
blinded.
are coming in onto him too. He has to try and run away. Knows where he's going because of sheer muscle memory. Almost.
Very close.
Gets out with his life intact this time. Young now, once again, looking towards this window from the lounge entrance. Easy Peasy, though, is looking to come this way and might be ready now. K9 right next to the bar in a very predictable spot, but is there for now and still alive.
I think they really need to take out Pojo Man here because that Blackbeard's going to be a critical part of this push.
Easy Peasy. Just around the corner on his drone. Pojo Man is still looking to do what he can. His exclusive drones on in. Snake staying in. K9 staying up and hidden from this drone. Shoots it finally as Young will now peek out again towards the bar window. But again, nobody's even going that way. Scanning. Exclusive Pojo still inside strip club. Meanwhile, King George is coming through the strip club doorway. Snake is still prone behind that bar and
Running low on time.
could get the job done. It's penetrable if he knew he's there. Looking towards the lounge doorway, which is where Young would show up from. Snake stands up, throws the C4 out, does get Mint on the floor above, but in he goes. King George takes down K9. Snake doesn't stand up until late, but does finally get the kill. Snake will also get Easy Peasy behind him. King George lining it up. 10 seconds, and now it's 2v2. Exclusive is doing the plant. Pojo Man is covering it. Snake's going to push forward. He does get down by Blackbeard. Young now outside the window. It's open this time. He's looking straight in. All he's got to do is turn around. It's detected. How does he not know? Exclusive taken down. He's going to get smoked out now. Pojo Man inside.
It's all on Blackbeard.
He's got an eye on the diffuser. He knows exactly where Young is because he is detected. Here he sees him tracking him round. Inside he comes. He knows he's got to come to this doorway. It's now going to be Young versus Pojo. The smoke comes in. The smoke goes out. Is it going to be enough? He's got to time it. He's going to give it a go. He comes on in, checking around. Pojo Man sees him. The shield is directly there. This time he gets in, he gets behind the bar, but Pojo has all the time in the world. It's a nice try, but Trinity force overtime.
Wow. I got to give it to T3 for their use of flashes, coordinated pushes, droning ahead. Really made it work. They were able to drone them, flash them, push them. You saw them do that to Canadian. You saw them do that to Snake. They weren't able to finish off Snake, but pushing him back into the bar definitely made their push into the club much easier.
Orbit on attack then for this overtime.
It is going to be back down to the downstairs, though.
Yeah, they are yet to win an attack here downstairs. Trinity have actually done a pretty good job of holding it. Can they continue that trend, or have Orbit figured out how to beat it?
Defenders, protect your bombs from being defused by
Still
attackers.
surprised it's gotten this far, but I do expect some strong attempts from Orbit still. But if this gets taken by Trinity, it's going to be a heck of a second match.
So, upstairs, exclusive doing the trapdoors, same as ever. Drones are roaming around and keeping an eye on what's going down. It's downstairs, the rest of Trinity set up the same defenses yet again. Reinforces well in the front of church, one here by Armory. Barbed wire here did do a bit to help them out before, and the castle walls helped out a little bit more as well. Let's see where they continue it. Pojo Man in blue once again. Dropping barbed wire, reinforcing the far doors. They don't bring a castle to the table this time over.
Going
for the, is that the crawl hole or just a shoot hole there on the corner of that wall?
I believe that is actually a crouchable hole. Just. But crouch is definitely a cool hole.
Yeah.
Pojo Men now firing in towards church, give them 2 of these kill holes as always, exclusive, putting the trophy system down to protect it. And Mint with King George finalizing their reinforcements inside goal. Once again, the attacking team droning the floors above and checking everything is clear, and then once they're happy with it, because they do drone so damn well, Orbit, clearing the entire map very, very quickly and easily, they do start to make their way towards the building, and Snake is already in the bar.
Wow. One thing you definitely don't see them do is waste those initial drones.
Gently bombing through, cracking these angles, giving himself ways to shoot down into this corridor with the safety of the solid floor underneath them.
Nice.
And also making sure once he's blown it, he gets back away.
Oh, was that a bugged?
That is a bugged thermite
Ooh,
trap.
that's
The
a fun
teams
little
are
thing.
within the rights to rehost it, and yeah, Orbit called it out. Thankfully, it is right on the start of overtime, so the scoreline is good.
It's an unfortunate one. But it does happen occasionally.
So, teams are allowed to rehost with that thermite trap. We've seen it, we've confirmed it. We will back on away. We will rehost it, but while we go through, deconstruct the maps for us. This should not take too long, as we don't need a commercial break this time around. We want to keep this going. 4 rounds to 4, either way. And so far, it has been back and forth, round to round.
It really surprises me, some of the rounds where, you know, a few of the T3 people just started laying out more than one of Orbit's players. Some of those pushes that they made just seemed a little out of character with their franticness. I mean, we saw them originally in Season 1. They were big on gunfighting, big on rushing. They started to get more patient towards the end, started adapting, playing more strategy, but we're still seeing a little bit of that old Orbit in there, where they're just kind of getting a little frantic and running around, making some pushes they should. I mean, you saw Snake make that push, trying to get the diffuser on the pool, for example, when he knew Blackbeard was there. That was not like a great thing for, I mean, he had the pulse device. Yep. Even if he didn't know he was there, he could have known he was there. It's just some of those moves that look a little desperate surprises me from them. You see such calm movements at the beginning.
So, the big thing I feel we need to see from Trinity to successfully pull ahead and grab themselves the win here is they need to figure out how to attack the Orbit basement.
Definitely. That's their strong suit.
What is your recommendation to them to make that happen?
I mean, what we've seen, again, is not a lot of good vertical play. They're not opening up enough of those holes in maybe kitchen or some of the other spots. I mean, maybe they're afraid of getting shot up through them. Maybe that's backfired on them in the past. But even in doing so, even if you don't use those holes, opening up those holes puts a lot of pressure on the man down there to not stand underneath them, to have to watch up on them. Things like that really makes it so they can't watch the horizontal as well as they have been. I mean, you've seen them there. They got the right angles. They got their positions. Move them out of those positions. Open up the ceiling.
All right, so we're waiting on the one last player from Orbit to reconnect, and then we can get straight back into it. The scoreline is still 4 rounds to 4. We have got to play out overtime here on Clubhouse. Remember, Trinity only need 1 map to secure themselves a place in playoffs.
It's looking possible.
Yeah, it is. But if they don't, then they get nothing at all. We will go to a flawless season for Orbit, full 21 points. We will see a tie between Trinity and Lunatic, and it will come down to their round win-loss to decide who goes through to the finals and who will play against Junctis from Europe when we go to those finals and those playoffs in Leicester. And then, of course, Orbit, they already know they're playing up against Sisu. And, well, Sisu played Hereford Base earlier on today and brought some new strategies out, brought some new ideas out, and saw some crazy new ways to play that map. And it is the second map we're about to play.
Yeah.
So from Orbit's book here, you win the first map. Do you then play the second one nice and safe, maybe give it away, risk bringing Trinity with you, but keeping your Hereford secret safe?
I think we'll see a mix. I think they'll play a little bit of the strategy, but I do think, like you bring up, that's a big concern for them with the way it's been played in Europe. They're not going to want to give away too much. That's been a theme for them.
So, we're back on in, and it is overtime. As always, or as before rather, Trinity are staying downstairs for defense. Upstairs will be attacked by Orbit. So, Let's see them continue it. We're going to see exactly the same setup. Trinity have done the same defense every single time they've held this spot when it comes to their reinforcements and their barbed wire placements and their cameras. So,
I mean, it seems like Orbit have this attack strategy down. They're playing, at least for the top half, right? Securing the top of that map every floor above this one. And if T3 allow them to, again, it's going to make it really easy for them to do the rest of their plan down here. I almost wish that they would have a good roamer upstairs that's in an unexpected spot that maybe just they don't have the drone coverage for, that just comes in late game from behind them on maybe on those hallway stairs.
normally I'd agree and I'd say, yeah, leave a lurker because Orbit get in really quickly, but like Orbit get in really quickly because their droning is perfect. Like everyone has these set rooms, like you drone this room, you drone this room, you drone this room. They do it within the first 30 seconds and they're instantly then, all right, I've cleared my rooms, I'm going in. And they're good and safe with that.
That's a lesson to all teams, I think.
So here they come as once again they're pushing aggressively in. See Snake and K9 already inside the garage. Young is already coming in now towards the bar through pool table. And downstairs, here comes Canadian joining in as well. Downstairs, the other five are still setting up their final finishing touches to their defenses.
Imagine that bar hatch will come open this time just fine.
I hope so. Let's right up board with Canadian. He does begin to blow it. He teases by taking away, but yeah, it does get opened up this time over nice and fine. And we continue on.
That's right. Using that same angle again. This time using it as Buck, though, instead of Sledge.
Well, Sledge is, or was there too, but yeah, just opening the same hole. Sledge did open before Buck then made holes in the floor.
Buck's definitely good for that on this particular map.
They need to come through and go through the hole that is made above, and they do start to crack down through the bar dropper holes.
We've seen Ash do that pretty much every time now.
Yeah, but that time it was killed out by a trophy system, actually.
Yeah.
Young going to drop down. There's camera there, and Ash actually had it on her screens, but she's not going to go for it. Exclusive now has a very tight angle and actually missed most of the shots, though, on those players that dropped.
See if Easy Peasy can pull off his little mini bar trick there.
For that angle again, as they have got in. He sees Young come through. He misses the shots, and he will be paying for it as Young takes him down with a quick reaction. Young, though, loses Canadian behind him. He's down but not out here, though. Easy peasy taking him low. The grenades are still coming in and pushing him away from the door. Now Ash is going to drop down and go for the revive while Young covers.
He sees that camera right there.
Yeah, how does he not?
Oh, man.
Now they're picking it up. Are you going to peek for it, Easy peasy? No, he's staying safe. Pojo Man is just covering the doorway instead. They don't need to risk it. Pojo Man firing shots on through his Easy peasy will take down Canadian again. This time it's MP5 and not the revolver yet.
Give it time.
Still got time.
Oh,
Easy peasy shot in the back as they have blown that wall open already. Kicks taking him down. Now the shots coming in from the Memorial and Young taken down by Pojo Man before the trade will come back from Kicks again though. King George and Mint, the last two Trinity defenders left up. Kicks is beginning the plant inside Church. Snake is covering the cross. No, he's not. Mint could get in and actually stop this plant.
Come on, Snake.
He peeks at the wrong time. King George now at half health already has to come in and find three, and they're going to start cutting away at the heels of Kicks. Stands up, and it's an easy kill for K9 in behind, and Orbit have broken the mold. They're successfully winning an attack round attack in the Trinity basement. Now they get to hold the pot themselves, and they've been doing great at that, and that might be all she wrote. It's on Trinity now. They have to win this attack round.
They've got to at least learn something about how this defense is cutting to pieces, and you see them making a change. Let's see if they stick with Fuse here. Something they're changing up because they want to do a little bit of remodeling down in that armory. So hopefully that will make all the difference in them at least doing some vertical play here. They also do have their sledge, so perhaps they'll take advantage of that too.
All right. Orbit setting up their defenses as ever.
They did bring the castle again, so I expect we'll see those castle doors put up. Canadian setting up a nice camera over there in the motorcycle drop. So he'll spot them out before they can even get to that castle wall. Same with construction. It makes it nice to not have to literally stand there and guard those flanks.
Yeah. You get that early warning, you know, when anyone coming away, you can wait for that to get broken open. Young once again now, setting up
Attackers recovered the bomb
barbed wire in that spot. K9 will then head towards it and check underneath it.
A little extra wire as well.
That one's
why not?
technically under the trapdoor.
That's good. Good placement. Still some late reinforcements coming up.
Yeah, I mean, you can do it when you know they've got to drone the floors above, when you know they've got to get in, they're going to breach up the the trapdoors and whatnot, you know it's not going to be a rush downstairs, especially when there's this much on the line here for Trinity.
Oh yeah.
You know you've got the time to do these slightly later reinforces.
Advantage of not being on the ground floor, right?
Yeah.
See, Young almost hitting kicks there with that shotgun. A lot of drones coming down. I imagine they want to at least get some idea what's going on down here.
They've left one wall. Oh no, it's just on the other side of the church.
Tricky.
It's right on board them with the attacking Pojo man as they make their way in. They're holding the diffuser now, watching the stairs. They are being a lot slower. Right now, the trapdoor has already been blown open by Orbit. That 2-minute mark, they were already pressuring down through the hole. So there's a couple of extra seconds here that Trinity are already losing out on.
Let's see what that fuse is going to do.
Gotta be careful not to shoot off exclusives here while they're both using the same angle.
Getting very close to it. That Blackbeard does some damage. I'm even wanting to be careful of the diffuser here. It's a good angle to peek though from Blackbeard.
Fuse charge going off in the corridor here. Giving us close to the wall so it might duck into church. Looking to do a similar thing again, but not sure about it. Yep, just underneath and inside church now, looking at this hole over top. He wants to blow his smoke charges through and in there to drop off and stop any thermite on the other side of the wall. Easy peasy now coming down the stairs with King George in tow. They haven't checked for the camera exclusives there too, and now all the info is in the hands of Orbit.
A lot of people in one place.
Kano with a good hold from Blue, a little bit disoccupied. Canadian with all three in that stairwell. Oh, it's juicy if you can get all of them down.
Yeah, not going to be good for them. I mean, even the smoke at that point could hurt.
Stay clear of the blast.
Nest in position.
Definitely wanted to play this more carefully this time, not just run in and get shot.
No, but they're down to 30 seconds. They don't have the time to play it any faster. Pojo man is looking to peek around the corner and try and get a man at the end of the corridor, but they haven't even taken out the barbed wire yet, and with 30 seconds on the clock, they've got to get inside. Exclusive is the man with the diffuser, and he comes across towards where he wants to breach. Over it goes. The smoke grenade comes up from Young, and it does go off just in time, but it's still going to get the blast on the wall. Young has been down now by that charge, by the looks of it. King George gets inside. He's dodging his own thermite. Own smoke charge though. Exclusive gets in and starts the plant. Canadian taken out, and Pojo man takes down Canadian, but Snake will turn onto King George. The plant is going to succeed though.
Nice play, Thermite.
2v3 now. Young taken out makes it 3v2.
Do have Kicks and Snake left though.
Snake down. Let's ride on board with Kicks. He's been the clutch player in the past. Exclusive looking for this. He's trying to fire through that back, but he doesn't quite have the right spot for Exclusive's face. Pojo man and Easy Peasy still watching the corridor as well.
Come on, Kicks.
Time is closer, but it's still not doing enough. Easy Peasy at the far end is prone, but it's still alive. Got to do 7 seconds on the diffuse here with every little one passing by. He's running out of time. He's got to make a move forward. He doesn't know where Easy Peasy's moving to. Moving in now towards the blue generators. There's Pojo man at the far side. He's going to rattle off the shield. Now knows he's out of time. He's just going to take a little bit of dance here in blue.
Let's save the up.
We are on to our final round. It is 5 rounds to 5.
My goodness.
Kicks opting to save his KDA in a game that was remade anyway.
Yeah.
He's keeping himself alive.
Wow. That was a good hold by them. They had a lot of good positions, just were not giving any away to Kicks. Kind of doing what Orbit was doing to them.
Over time, everything switches it up. As we do now have Orbit and Trinity both winning attack rounds against the basement. Now it means Trinity can go back down into the basement for what will be the final round. Remember, Trinity only need one map to secure their place at playoffs. Could this round be that round?
This is the round to make it happen.
Attackers need to locate and defuse as many bombs as they can.
So,
Orbit definitely going to be very concerned at giving away a map and ruining their perfect record so far. I mean, obviously they're going to land, but it's nice to go there with a perfect record.
So upstairs, King George, exclusive once again doing the same reinforcements. They'll then come back on down. Reinforcements on Church are the same here from Trinity. Pojo man sealing up the tunnel, Mint doing the construction tunnel and sealing that up as well.
10 seconds to insertion. 5 seconds
They
to
did
go.
have a few things that worked in their favor last time, like the trophy system stopping that ash down under the barbed wire.
Attackers are moving out
And they
to
know
locate
that
bomb
church
and
drop
defuse
is
it.
important to them. If they're smart, they'll play off that.
So do it. Once again, staying in those predetermined spots. Orbit have it figured out before and they did the job. Once again then, Orbit droning and finishing the floors above before very cautiously heading in. Still a little bit unsure if the drones are still finishing their jobs of checking every little nook and cranny.
That's why you got to do it top down.
Now Young is ready to make his way in.
Looking to make that push. We'll see if it's open up some more holes, just like they did last time. Just give themselves a nice angle down there. Doesn't look like he wants to this time. Oh, there we go. Just throwing up boards left and right. The only danger in doing that, of course, is now you've got to run back across that. Risky.
Attackers located a bomb.
Does do it and get away though. It's rare to find a man actually underneath there firing up through, but
Yeah.
that one time that you do, could mean trouble.
There goes your attack strat. That's nice in that that opens the door and clears the barbed wire at the same time.
Minute 45, the push is coming in.
You're going to see him clear the way for Canadian here so he can blow that wall.
See lots of shots coming through, but none actually landing yet.
Surprised to see Astronaut already pushing down here. It's Buck leading the charge instead. Just ready to make this push happen. They've already set the diffuser aside, ready to make any kind of kills they need to.
Smoke grenade going off, pre-placed there, pushes Young back with a minute 15 seconds. That's a big deal. Kicks is still trying to fire down through the floor. He is a little bit close here to King George, but nothing too serious. He runs away from it okay. Young now coming back down the stairs as the smoke clears. Next one will be a bit harder to place. Snake still up top. Everyone holding firm here for Trinity.
A little bit of a different attack strat this time, it seems like, or at least not quite as fluid as it was before.
We're looking to push in up the other end map this time around. We do see Young still making more holes in the floor, trying to move King George away. Canadian now with the diffuser heading down the front stairs.
Interesting to have him lead the charge here.
He's got no thermite charges left, so he can be a little bit more disposable.
True.
But now repositions away again, and Orbit is still just trying to find these different openings. Can't figure out where it is they want to go in.
So close to seeing
Podium gets the first kill. It's onto K9 and Orbit are down a man. King George is still playing very firm inside B, and the sprint coming in. Turns away at the wrong second, and it gives Kicks the kill. Now he's looking for a next one. It's Mint at the far end of the room. Mint stays hidden as well. Podium man is there. Switching to the camera at the worst possible time. Why would you do that? He gets down. Young's now in behind him though. Young's looking for Mint himself. Cannot land the killing blow, but the diffuser has been planted, and that is big.
Oh, diffuser down.
It's now on Orbit. Canadian gets taken out, but Mint will not be traded in return. He's very low. Exclusive, however, will get snaked. Now Mint goes down. Young is the last man standing. He's got to find three and hold them off long enough. They're coming behind him. He does get the one on Exclusive. Now Mint's looking forward after reviving, and it's going to be the kill. Trinity will get the revive. Trinity are coming to land.
Wow. That was not the ending I expected, but very well played on Trinity's part. Where's Kicks just laying around?
Yeah,
Poor guy.
Kicks was just there, bleeding out, while his team lost the round to this diffuser punch.
It's 2 rounds in a row for Kicks.
Overtime complete on map number 1.
Ooh.
Orbit finally lose a map. It is just one, and they do back on away.
I guess in doing so, Trinity have shown they've earned their spot.
Yep, I mean, everyone said it's right. Trinity is second, yes, but are they really that good? Is it just they beat all the bads? Orbit has stomped the world, but like, Orbit stomped everyone.
Yeah.
The fact that they can take even one map off them is testament to the fact they have a chance wherever they go next. They are not just second because they're the best of the worst.
Yeah.
They've still got some kind of skill to show off. And we've still got Hereford Base to go. There's still a chance they can take the entire series off Orbit, which will be a real testament to it. As well, we do only have that first map completed.
Yeah.
But, as we mentioned, that is enough for Trinity to secure their place in Leicester at the playoff finals. They will be playing up against Jungtis. Orbit will be playing up against Sisu. And those are your playoff matches on August the 6th.
Easy.
That revolver is filthy.
Yeah, he does some work. Can't believe catching Canadian on his cameras right there. It's mean. A lot of good plays here. This is, I mean, a lot of highlights from just this one match.
Yeah, there was a lot of impressive shots, a lot of impressive gunfights pulled out from both squads.
Tell you what, if I'm Europe, I'm going to be banning Clubhouse when I'm playing against Trinity. It's obviously one of their strongest maps.
Yeah, that would not be the worst thing to do.
I mean, if you could take Orbit on it, it's a strong map for you.
Yeah, that is true. Let's see whether they can do the same thing on
nice.
Hereford Base now, because that is a key thing to look over. We, of course, are remaking the lobby and rehosting, because obviously that over time we had to rehost because of a bug. So the players are refunneling themselves back in. Orbit will once again be on attack, kicking things off here. Now then, for Hereford Base, Trinity will be on defense. We talked about before how that Hereford Base map can be won and lost with just split-second decision, teamwork, and crossfire. And the amount of times we've seen teams just straight up team kill because they're running in front of each other
Frantic.
or not covering can just completely sway it. The same thing is to be said, really, about Clubhouse.
Yes.
Trinity have shown they had a plan in place and they knew what needed to be done for that. If they can do the same here for Clubhouse, we could be looking at another 6-5 round.
I think it would be interesting to see if they can at least take 3 rounds off Orbit. Whether they win or lose, they've already proven they can do it. They just have to play the right maps. And this is a strong one from Orbit. That's been strong for them since Season 1. So I expect that at the very least Orbit will win this. But if Trinity can take a bunch of rounds off them, they're going to be going strong into LAN.
So having seen Orbit's defense and knowing that Orbit's so strong on Hereford Base, where are their weaknesses? What do you have to exploit as T3 to take those rounds?
Getting them out of position, I think, is what we've seen. When you can kind of get them to move a little bit out of those positions they've so well practiced, they start to lose a little bit of control. And if you can push at those key moments, that just throws their game off. Get a kill or two, and then a lot of their positions are dependent on each other. So taking 1 or 2 key guys out really makes it much harder for them to hold those last few positions.
All right, well, we'll see if that is the case and if T3 can do it. We saw some very novel things from Penta and Sisu on there earlier today. We saw top floor bomb site from Penta, which unsurprisingly was just a slaughter. They got destroyed. We then saw completely ignoring the basement bomb site for a lot of their defense to just run 1 man in there and the other 4 on the floors above. Drive Sisu like window jumping and leaping outside, giving up the bomb sites and trying for the retakes. Not always working, not coming out either way, but it's a very, very tight match because both teams just couldn't use the standard strategies you can use against everyone else. Had to think up new ones on the fly. And, well, not all of them worked either way.
I'm excited to see for the NA versus EU on that map then. Definitely both of them making sure that they actually are doing different, new, interesting things.
So, not only these two, now the top 2 teams in North America, they are your 2 playoff teams, and well, they're about to play again. Hereford Base is underway. It is Trinity versus Orbit. Honestly, more now for bragging rights than anything else. It's Orbit's chance to save a little bit of face and still go technically undefeated in a series, but it's Trinity's chance to be the only team to take 2 games or take full 3 points off of Orbit.
I feel like now, though, Orbit are even less motivated to use their top-level strategies on this, as Trinity's already going. What have they got to lose by just letting them get another map, other than, like you said, saving face? But I think for them, they are wanting to be a very professional team. I have to imagine they're at least considering letting T3 have a bit of an advantage on this map.
Young going with a recruit, thanks to a timeout.
Attackers need to locate
It's too bad it's not his classic recruit shield like he ran so often in Season 1. See what they do with that, though.
Claiming a crash on Young. But he's still mobby. Nope, calling out a never mind. To be fair, for players to officially request a rehost in this sense, their actual ruling is they have to drop out of the game so that we can cover it for both Xbox. They didn't. They do still have the first 15 seconds of the round to do it, but they are seemingly happy to play on with Young as that recruit.
Let's hope he has a good recruit loadout that he's very comfortable with.
It's an M870.
Oh, not the best choice for an attacking operator.
Well, we're going to play it on out.
Must have been something he was experimenting with.
Yeah.
Well, hopefully he learned
mucking
something.
around in a casual.
Yeah. Whatever he was doing.
Just as likely. So, a little bit unideal, but they give it a shot all the same.
Drone up and running.
King George was upstairs, but has been sprayed down and away thanks to that wall being cracked open by
bomb has been located.
and Snake's L85s. Everyone on mid downstairs right now is setting up their defense. Very similar to the way Penta did for A. They sit all across in B, they sit all across in the ladder room and on the stairs and just give up the lockers in A, and then go for a retake if the plant goes down. They've also opened up the site completely to A, allowing for an ease of retake.
I mean, that's a pretty ideal defense, other than maybe not sitting someone in A and having the shield there, like people do by that projector screen. But that's a dangerous thing to do unless you can pull it off. And we'll see if they can. Definitely just waiting as the Orbit team just drones. Tries to figure out whether or not there's at least someone in A.
Yeah, turning in, EMPing in, using those flashbangs as well to check it's clear.
Young already with the diffuser up there, wanting to make a push in. It seems like they think there might be someone over in that corner, as there typically is, and are already throwing in stuff, preparing for it.
They're also cleaning out the barbed wire that is between the door and there, so they can get over there themselves nice and quickly.
Does help.
But they've got 1 minute and 20 still on the clock to make it happen. Let's go on board with Young a little bit. Looks like he's the man they're sending in to do just that.
To be fair, shotguns are pretty strong in this particular position.
That, and to be like he's using this shotgun, whatever. Like once the plant is down, it's great covering the doorway. Two, and more importantly, I think, is the fact that before that happens, he's kind of useless.
Yeah.
So give him the diffuser and just let him be that man that sits there and holds his PC for 7 seconds. Don't need him to shoot anything.
Yeah, not terrible.
Smoking the connector now. Going to block out Pojo Man's sight lane, and then smoking across from B as well, so they can't shoot him from the other side. The spray's coming in preemptively, but he's not inside yet. The reload's going to go through. He gets through the gap, but doesn't get through the next edge. As Exclusive does team kill Mint, but gets Young down at the same time.
Good trade.
It is worthwhile. Pojo Man taken low, but Exclusive will grab another kill onto Canadian as he tries to come in behind him. Dodges away from the flashbang. Pojo Man is downstairs in the corridor, now prone and hidden. Kicks and K9 looking to come through the doorway now. 15 seconds on the clock. He's got this tiny little angle to fire it through. K9 comes in and is taken low, but not down. King George takes down Snake. Now Pojo Man looking to push into the site as King George takes down Kicks, and Pojo Man pistols K9 for the end. Trinity taking round number 1 here on Hereford Base.
Already a good start, and I don't think it was just because Young was a recruit. I think the A push was a little sloppier than I would have expected. A lot of people just running into the room, hoping to make it across that ladder room door. I mean, at the very least, get someone up in garage to do something about it, right? Especially if you know they're pretty much all playing on site. They've got to have droned enough to have some idea that it's a possibility. Do something about that ladder room next time. I mean, they could have even just blown the ladder room drop just to put enough pressure on them to make it hard for them to sit in there.
So, time now for Orbit to defend the same spot. How do they do it?
Starting with the kill holes. I mean, it's pretty typical to C4 that wall, but also typical now to just shoot holes in it instead, to not give such easy access for anyone who blows that wall to be able to run into A, or for people in A to be able to run out into the lockers. Sometimes that can be to the advantage of the attackers. Let's see, is Snake going to be one to sit in that room, or is he just going to barbed wire it and leave? Which he's going to do.
5 seconds remaining.
Yep. You do see them setting up in a very similar way to what we just saw Trinity do.
We do have Pulse here. I'm not sure we had Pulse before. Might be able to use that to his advantage to basically keep an eye on the top of the stairs without having to actually look up.
Yep, and inside A at that too. So once they do start to rush in, if they're not killed from the other side of the map, you can vary exactly which corner they sit in it. Some will go behind the desk down here, some will also go to the front corner, which we saw from Petra and C2 again earlier on this morning. So making sure you're looking the right way when you go through that doorway.
Yeah.
Difference between life and death.
Especially when they can pre-fire through that wall that they shot up on the locker side as well.
So, here come the attacking squad. This time, no recruit in the mix. And Trinity do begin to push themselves forward.
Very destructible team here with Ash, Sledge, and Buck. Bringing in the Thermite and the Blackbeard.
Do open
Good
the
lineup.
lockers, top and bottom. Get some angles in there. Pojo Man looking through the single hole again as well. And as we talked about, we look downstairs, Orbit's hold is the same. There's only 2 people in the ladder room though, that's a bit different. But then 2 people in B and Canadian on the stairs. Same as almost everyone now defending this bomb site.
You see how critical the ladder room is. I almost feel like the ladder room is a lot more important than the B spot. I mean, you have some angles from B that are helpful, but that ladder room, that's what really gets the cross, as you saw last round. One thing we're not seeing, though, is Bandit putting any batteries on it. You know, we don't see a Bandit there to just slow down the Thermite blows.
Because it's even, like, it's very rare that he successfully does that. And then when it comes to actually rotating back across to a safe spot,
yeah,
it just doesn't happen. It's just suicide sprinting anywhere around that downstairs with the doors open.
If anything, just slows down delivery blow.
Flashbang's there to stop the trophy system, and that does successfully stop the trophies, but the grenade that comes afterwards doesn't go anywhere near Canadian. He saw it coming, he heard the flashbangs, he knew exactly what was going to follow it, and he was long gone out of that.
Well played by Pulse. He doesn't spot easy though, just to his right. I think you almost saw it for a second there, just not quite looking hard enough. That new Pulse. Knows he's about to come down the stairs. I mean, the barbed wire sound's going to give it away, but knowing he's staying there is good.
Snake taking down Exclusive. King George is low now as he takes down Young, but Kicks will go down as well. Up to the stairs he tries to go, but being shot in the back of the whole sprint across the gap. Now Snake and Kano, the only two left standing. They got an MP5 in hand, which is nice and strong, but it's not going to help stop this plant, which is already going down inside the A site. Snake now at the far end of the room, looking behind the front desk. That's not where it is. It's in the front corner here from King George. K9 looking towards the door on his way out again, but King George's got nowhere to go that way. No reason. So he's on top of his diffuser. Easy Peasy is inside the lockers. We're going to look at Mint after Easy Peasy takes down Snake. Mint on the stairs now means there's no way into this room for K9. It's going to be 2-0 for Trinity. Just a case of, is K9 going to save his KD? No, he's going to dotty dance his way across the gap. And it is 2-0 up. Trinity eSports.
Wow.
Don't want to get ahead of ourselves, but this is
on?
exactly what they did in the last map. 2-0 up against Orbit at the start of Clubhouse. Orbit swung it around and did start to come back afterwards and make us like a very close game, 6-5. But it's a lot harder to do that on Hereford Base.
Yeah, what's going on here, guys? This was your map. I'm suspecting maybe we're not seeing those top level strategies, but at the same time, after what we saw in Clubhouse, nothing would surprise me.
Defenders, protect your
All right, upstairs we go. Kitchen and TV room for Trinity. It's their next selection. Well, we did have a phase where people were taking the split bomb site of dining room and kids room. That has kind of been phased out now by most of these PC teams and start to like playing the horizontal sites instead, because teams have got so well versed at just taking control of one site, normally the top one, and just stopping the rotate back up.
Yeah, being stuck on just one set of stairs, unless you're using the outside ones, makes Hereford one of the maps where stairs are super important to control. The only thing I don't like about this bomb site is that B window sometimes can be a little bit of a death trap to people firing through. Like you get a Blackbeard over there, being able to wall bang into the kitchen, set it up right, and it's pretty good for getting people in through the garage.
King George an exclusive then upstairs. Mint, Pojo Man and Easy Peasy Lemon Squeezy in the middle floor or below, as Mint is right down there in the basement. So very spread out Trinity defense. Trapdoors above and below Pojo Man broken to give him angles up and down, and an escape route should be needed. Exclusive King George still making a couple of kill holes and a couple of spots of safety on this floor above. And Easy Peasy sitting there in the corner of piano, waiting for anything that might be coming either way. The attacking teams, however, already very close and up to the buildings, are looking to find some of these players and put them in a world of hurt.
Opening some holes, give himself some utility for later.
Checks the front edge and that window as well, as the shots are all coming in from the window to his left, and it's Young with a free kill. Not a good start then.
That's why you want to open up those holes a little earlier before they can shoot you while doing it.
King George, now the last man up on this floor, is going to be a little bit more cautious as they are thermiting the wall to his left, so they immediately drone him out as well.
Not good.
He's got this trapdoor to fall away to safety if he wants to, but giving it up so early on is a risky move, and while he did start to get tagged through the wall, it's not much damage, but he does have to drop away and goes all the way down.
Too bad you can't drop through both at the same time.
Yeah, Mint, in fact, that would be awful.
Yeah, just land and be downed.
Mint has come up and he's on the stairs. He finds Snake and actually does take him out while he's mid-vaults. That's a good return.
Lurking away now. Repositioning, now that I'm sure it's given away his position. Looks like they don't even want to open up that dining room wall. Both teams just down one player. Still a bit of time left for some damage to be done here before the push. Defenders don't seem sure on which side they're going to be pushed from, though. All of them just kind of holding their positions, waiting for that movement to get inside so they could try and pick off the attackers at closer range instead of peeking it, which is good. A little bit of a risky peek there from Mint.
Easy peasy still now watching inside here. Got Mint to help him out, but King George is down in the basement checking the trapdoor below.
Definitely guarding those traps carefully.
Checking in case anyone comes into B. It's not uncommon to see teams try and sprint in and plant in this spot, not realizing the trapdoor's broken and just accidentally fall down. But even if that's not the case, and they do realize, the nitro cell that King George is holding will go straight up through the hole and perhaps stop the plant. Bojo Man inside the TV room is cautious of the window as the shots are rattling in. Easy peasy is down and finished by Canadian. Then above Bojo Man, Ash takes him down to half health and he's finished off by Kicks running in afterwards. Now it is all down onto King George and Mint.
Looks like some of them might be trapped a little lower than they want to be, but...
Plant goes through. King George looking to try and C4 up onto wood is already now a dead operator. Blows it anyway, and lucky Mint didn't drop into it.
There goes the body.
Plant is inside B, and Shocker Blackbeard is outside the window covering it in an invincible position.
They do have the plant down and 2 men up on him. Not a good spot for Mint to be in.
Yep. This is done for Mint. It's going to be the first round on the board for Orbit, and they will go into a 2-1 situation. So he's down to less than 20 seconds left and needs 7 of those to defuse, and he's got to kill 3 people. They're all still very, very hidden from him. They know exactly where he is. He does get a good shot on Canadian there.
Might as well.
But hey-ho, too little too late as he gets shot in the back room inside the site, and that was crazy. Actually, no he didn't. I thought he got the kill. It was the other kill feed. But hey-ho, Attacker's winning round number 3, puts Orbit on the board, and I may have spoken too soon. But it's exactly what happened on Clubhouse. They went 2-0 down, and then they began to turn it around.
I'm never really sure why they do that. It doesn't seem like it's just to learn what's going to happen, but I don't know. They just need this kind of warm-up buffer that they just give up a round or 2, maybe 3, and come back strong. But they just couldn't keep up the momentum on Clubhouse. Nothing too unusual coming out here. We do see Snake on Pulse this time instead of Canadian. Switching up roles a little bit. Not sure how much they are kind of set in their roles or if they're just trying different things out.
Defenders, protect your bombs from being defused by attackers.
It's now time for Orbit to defend that same spot. Didn't even hold the basement, but they want to change it up. This is what we saw from Penta and Sisu earlier on this morning. The basement has just become too widely practiced and well known. It's time to go elsewhere.
Maybe
from
Orbit
the start.
just wanted to see how they played it. How do you guys play the basement? Okay, we're not going to play that again then.
Yeah, alright, you got it figured. Alright, we'll just
moving
go
on.
elsewhere. Thankfully though, unlike Penta, they're not going to the top floor, because that would be dumb.
Watch them do that now just because you said that.
It would still
10
be
seconds
dumb.
to go.
Good call.
So, beginning the last couple of setups as Kix is heading towards the staircase for some barbed wire and then back down. Young Snake and K9 staying more or less inside the sites. K9,
Interesting shield there.
Canadian actually coming down too, so they are staying all down.
At least Snake is able to do a little bit of recon work on both the floor above him and that window. Surprised to see him standing on that trap without it reinforced, but I guess people aren't just trying to shoot people out of there as often as you'd think. I like how they just have all 4 corners kind of here, forming a little bit of a trapezoid. The emphasis on trap. But they do give up that dining wall pretty quick. They didn't have a bandit like T3 did.
He's downstairs, Kicks now still inside the site. Sitting on this trapdoor again with that angle below, if needed, towards lockers, and then a sideline into the building above. Right up top and above K9. Buck is already in there and taking control of it, which has pushed him off and away.
It's like smoke's just in his way.
George going right up to the top floor now. Mint's still firing down through these holes and looking at the pre-set positions of the attacking players.
Getting those holes for himself. Trying to sneak that drone through the bars. Not gonna work.
So he just wanted to throw it down and drive it off elsewhere.
Ooh, sees 2. Doesn't get spotted.
Gets
That's
the
gonna
drone
hurt.
away and catches them both in dining.
Too bad he can't do anything about it from where he's at very well.
No, they are both hidden to one spot,
So
but he
they
finds
try.
the door. Looking towards the doorway itself.
Nice angle, but not enough of a sharp angle for him. Ooh, catches out the camera though, luckily. No one down there for him to find. A lot of movement and shots happening and not a lot of people taking any damage. Less than a minute left too. Surprising to see them get this far without anyone getting hurt. Though that grenade could have done some damage had that trophy system not been there to stop it. Buck just trying desperately to use his ability to open up holes to do something besides trying to engage on horizontal combat. Does finally land some shots, but it's going to have to use a grenade to actually finish the kill.
Mint does it for him, nicely there. And with 27 seconds on the clock, they've got to make a move. Exclusive is the man with the diffuser. We'll get on board with him as he's pushing in towards the ace site. Kicks does get a kill onto Pojo Man from below.
Nice.
That's Blackbeard taken out, nicely done. Jaeger peeking up the stairs, he's looking for explosives to come around the corner, does it, but does just about get him down before King George will trade kicks out. C4 comes in there for a double kill for Canadian, and now Minut's the last man standing upstairs with 4 seconds on the clock. He gets one, he's got to find 2 more. He's going to see one and get him.
Wow.
Can he get Canadian in time? No chance, he was miles away. And Trinity run out of time, but it is so close with Mint picking up those 2 kills.
It just goes to show all that time they spent trying to get those kills. Yeah, they got the kills, but by the time ran out, they didn't have the time to finish the job. Well, it's got to feel nice to have gotten those, at least those last few kills from Mint. Maybe the rest of his team just needed to pick up the pace a little bit. See a little bit of last minute switching there with Kicks taking Ash and Young taking Buck instead.
Attackers need to locate and defuse bombs.
Does look like we're going to go back down.
Yeah, give it another shot.
Let's see if they're able to pull it off a little bit better. Maybe not sprinting into A this time would be good. They've got to rethink that. Although they don't have Young on recruit this time, may play out a little bit better for them. Although I have seen Canadian running shotgun on Thermite in here. We'll see if he's doing that again. He is much better with shotguns than some of the other guns, so it's not surprising. A lot of barbed wire going up though, of course. Gonna make it hard for them.
5 seconds to go. Attackers recovered the bomb diffuser.
Mint doing something under the desk there. Wasn't quite sure what. Maybe filing some papers. They're even a little late in getting their armor here with already 10 seconds into the round. But they do look ready for the attack. Canadian looks ready to blow stuff open as well. Kind of counting on them not having any bandit here, just opens that wall right up, rotates. Gonna take delivery as soon as he feels comfortable to do so. Where's the rest of his team though at this point? Kind of taking this solo. Drones the entire lockers out. Now it's time to drone out A. He's got to know the rest of his team can push pretty safely, especially once he opens up delivery, unless he's afraid of them actually jumping out delivery, which some teams are brave enough to do, and it does occasionally work.
Yep, we've seen it. Instead, though, he's going inside now to join the rest of his team.
Ooh, ladder drop. I've seen this work pretty well as well. You blow one wall open up on the side, either the delivery or the big wall, then blow this open. As we saw last time, ladder room was their bane, but
King George just work coming up those stairs, taking down one with a C4 and then 2 with his shotgun blast. They were expecting a nice slow passive game, which is what we've seen from Orbit on defense every other time. King George says, nah, I'm gonna run at you boys.
Yeah.
And they were not ready for that.
I think he did get the drop open, but
yeah, but they were so distracted by down it doesn't matter. And Mint then goes for 2 of his own and says, I can do that too. Trinity, right back in, boys.
If Trinity can bring this level of play to the lands, then I'm excited to see it. Definitely not the kind of attacking I expected. I think it was not the kind of attacking Orbit expected that round either. Still pretty typical loadouts. Nothing crazy here. We're not seeing like a cap can or something pulled out. Although Orbit's taking their time selecting their operators, probably having a little bit of powwow to decide, well, what we're doing isn't working as well as we expected. Maybe shake it up a little bit. So far, nothing interesting. Snake on dock there. Bringing a couple of heavies.
Protect your bombs from being defused by attackers.
Looks like they're going to try basement again, despite the previous losses on it. Maybe they've got some ideas after a couple of failed attacks on it and a failed defense on it.
Yeah, Seen both teams switch it up and try it and just butt heads in the same fashion over and over again. One of these times, someone's got a break.
To be fair, this is one of the oldest maps in the game, and to say that the meta has been pretty well explored is an understatement. But there's always room for some creativity, especially when it comes to playing the psychology game with the other team.
10 seconds left.
All right, finishing their setup. They're leaving Canadian upstairs for a little bit longer, but he is eventually making his way down after finishing everything off, and he is playing that brand new Pulse.
That's a lot of holes.
Attackers are moving
Yeah,
out
the
of
last couple of
location
supporting structural pillars too. They block bullets, which is not good.
No, you don't want to just get a penetration minus.
The difference between life and death in many of these situations.
Got 3 people in the ladder room this time.
Yeah, once again, he is here on the stairs with that heartbeat sensor.
We saw last time it seemed to be useful, but then he got pushed out of it pretty quick into A, and that didn't really work out in his favor. See Kick's doing a little dance for us. Just making sure, keeping himself busy and getting his circulation going for when this attack finally comes in. As he's going to be the one to do some of the later
Attackers have
combat
located
from
a
that B
bomb.
site. Attackers really thinking about what they're going to do. Dropping the diffuser, standing around doing lots of droning.
Make sure they figure out exactly where it is. We've already talked about how this bomb site is so static for the defense because their positions and their angles are so tight.
Yeah.
You just have to make sure you know exactly where all of them are before you push in, or you are going to get cut to pieces by that one man you just weren't ready for. So it is a lot of droning at the start of the round, a lot of figuring people out, and trying, as you say, to just shift them from those really tight positions, from those really tight angles, and pushing them into the more exposed spots. Mint spotted the C4, comes up, goes around the corner, but it's not as good of a throw as what King George just did against him. Doesn't go far in, the flashbang's coming down. He goes up to Pojo Man now, but it's 2 shots either way, and Pulse will die. Pojo Man still got plenty of health to his name as well, and Canadian trying the slightly aggressive play.
That Blackbeard kill would have been pretty dang useful for them.
Attackers have recovered.
K9 does trade it back though with a kill onto Easy Peasy himself. It's a nice one as they're pushing now in below.
The
And
attackers
they're aggressing lockers, exclusive, blowing in from lockers to B. Pojo Man is now prone and looking in that way. It's going to help them get down the stairs. Kicks is at the far side of the room. We'll have seen the shield peek out. He's going to be missed right on the left-hand side. He's going for the man on the right. Pojo Man's shield actually blocking the shots that Kicks fired through there instead.
Maybe Kicks here can do something about this.
Kicks seeing the shots come through, but he can't actually see the man. He thinks he's coming from over the top, and he's more focused now on Snake as well, as Mint takes down the rest of Orbit, pushing in elsewhere. Now he picks up and tries to reload, and he gets killed. They didn't even kill the camera that's above his head. K9 taking him down for the final blow. Mint will get killed off by Kicks, and they do start seeing the numbers advantage heading back Orbit's way until that happens. Snake and K9 now, once again, the last 2 standing. They've seen this a couple of times before.
Wow.
Try and pre-fire outside, but King George cannot get the aim, and Snake is taken out just before K9. King George getting both of them from outside the A site, and Trinity are on the verge of doing the unthinkable.
That was a pretty aggressive lockers push. We've seen a lot of focus on A, a lot of focus on the stairs, but that locker push worked surprisingly good. I mean, the positions that most of them were in were set up for that A push. And you see changing it up like that, especially on a team like Orbit that really likes to have their positions and angles set up. Yeah, maybe you can't get them out of position because there's not a lot of roof to work with, but just attacking a different spot can be a powerful thing to do.
Trinity, TV and Kitchen. So far, no team has taken 3 points off of Orbit all season. They've already secured their place in playoffs by taking even 1 map off of Orbit. If they get this round, they'll have grabbed that second, and they'll have grabbed those 3 points.
Impressive. I'm liking the showing here. They're making for a very good last couple of rounds on this playoff. Playday 7, not disappointing.
10 seconds remaining.
Now hopefully Orbit are going to at least bring it up one more, make this a little bit harder for Trinity as they are 1 point away from taking this map.
Attackers recovered the bomb diffuser. Attackers are heading out to defuse
We
the
may
bomb.
be seeing the end of it here with a 2-0 on the undefeatable.
Trinity leaving Pojo Man and Easy Peasy downstairs. King George goes up again, exclusive as well. Hopefully exclusive makes his kill holes in the floor a bit faster this time. He doesn't get killed off by Young so quickly, and Mint goes up to a level even further above.
Attackers have recovered their diffuser.
Maybe this late roam here will make a key kill as he comes down the stairs. Not a lot of drop downs from D's up here, though, so he's not going to be able to just swing down real quick, but I'd love to see someone jump out one of these windows or do a little bit of window peeking.
So what Mint's trying to do, cracks it open. The Canadian is actually behind that concrete pillar.
So close.
Didn't see him.
Worth a try.
Does back away. Canadian didn't even hear him breaking his windows because he's on his drone, and yeah, might get another chance to do a similar thing. Once again, though, he's not going to see Canadian behind there thanks to that spot being well covered.
I liked that there. He's banged down the two bottom parts to make it a lot quieter, that it wasn't going to be so obvious when he banged out the window.
Yeah, it also helps hide which window it is.
Definitely.
Because you don't see the wood flying outside.
That helps, right?
Yep. Mint dodging the bullets that Snake was firing onto him now, so they've now been made aware that he is on this floor above. They also know about King George and Exclusive. They're trying to drone and track some of them as well. Doing all three of these at once might be the ticket here.
I need to see a good top-down
Snake
sector.
does open the wall up, and Exclusive will punish him for it, and that gives him a now safe place to reposition away from Kix' fire. Sees K9 out the front. Well, beautiful
K9.
shot, and he gets kicked.
Oh.
Exclusive might have just done what
My
he needed.
goodness.
Young is on the wall. Kix already calls
GG.
GG. Snake has left.
My goodness.
K9, Young, and Canadian,
Wow.
the last two up. Young is outside, he knows where he is, and he's trying to rattle these shots off, and he sees his leg. They're going to tag him, but he runs away to safety with health intact. Canadian on the floor above is going to push towards Exclusive again. He's on to 3. He could get an ace here. That would be a way to send him off. He's looking the wrong way, though, as Canadian's now coming around inside the bedroom. Canadian switches up to drone. Young still outside the B side, is now looking to come through the front door. He will be the toughest part of the ace if Exclusive wants it. Inside the hot tub room, Canadian has now seen him in there. The bathtub, I suppose.
Let's
Not
see
really
a
a hot tub.
An attempted clutch here. Hopefully
Comes around the corner. No,
Yep.
Canadian picks it up.
Yep. Nice. Oh, and 2.
Young and Canadian grab one each there, and now it's all onto easy peasy lemon squeezy, who are already really low health. Young is looking to come inside the B window. Canadian is coming to join him.
No GG, boys.
Snake is going to feel a bit out of place now as he left his team in a 4v5 when they've got another round to play. If easy peasy can do this.
Oh.
20 seconds on the clock, though. He takes another couple of tags. Young is now inside the B site.
15 seconds to go.
It's going to bait him
Did
out
he
at
hear
least.
the plant? He didn't hear the plant. Or he has. He's had to move now because of it. Hedges forward. Looking
Oh,
through
the
this hole.
holes.
He'll see Young. Does stop the plant. Can he stop Canadian? Peeks out and he doesn't need to. And it gives Canadian the kill. Orbit are staying alive for one more round. It is 4 rounds to 3.
After the call of GG, the last 2 people make it happen.
Yeah.
Well done, Canadian.
Showing no faith in his own teammates, who only go out to prove him wrong. He has crashed out, so they claim. K9 will back away, and the rest of Orbit will do so. So 4 rounds to 3, we're going to have to run to a quick rehost.
Building the tension.
There is still a real chance that Orbit could keep their technically unbeaten record intact.
At the very least, making it a very entertaining series of matches, doing the unthinkable on the very last day.
Yeah. But 4 rounds to 3, we will rehost it on through and get back into another game here on Hereford Base. 1 more round is all Orbit need to force overtime. They're now on defense as well. Can they do it?
I think if T3 can pull off what they did with the lockers and really just shift things, take them out of position or just fight them from a different position, maybe Orbit can't.
Talk us through their stat-specific round. You say doing things with the lockers. What do you mean doing things with the lockers?
So when we saw, Orbit had all their positions locked up. They had the guy in the stairs, they had the guys in the ladder room, they had the guy in A, the guy in B. They had all the angles covered. They were going to make sure, okay, you're not getting into A. So they said, forget it then, we're not going to get into A. We're just going to blow open the lockers, and we're going to push hard from there. We're going to shoot the heck out of your guys, cross from delivery, and just make it so you're not ready for this. The people in ladder, they had 2 people in there. Their position is just to keep people out of B and keep people out of A. But if you attack from lockers, those people are doing nothing. If they try and come out the cross from delivery, takes them out.
So Orbit are funneling straight back into the lobby. Trinity will be in just a moment. It is 4 rounds to 3. Trinity have already secured their place in the finals. They will be playing against Juventus in Leicester on August the 6th for the playoffs. Orbit have been first and secured there for quite a while right now. They will be playing Sisu in Leicester for the playoff finals. But the question is now, can Trinity be the first and only team this season to take 3 solid points off
Even
of
if they
Orbit?
don't?
They thought, and Orbit thought, they were. But then that 2-man clutch comes out of nowhere.
Even if they don't, they've already done the damage. They've already taken that 0 off the board for Orbit. And that's what counts when you're trying to build a reputation going into this fight against Europe.
So we do see them fully loading back in. Now that we're looking at Orbit on defense, they have, if memory serves, every bomb site to choose from.
Ooh.
Do they go back to the basement?
You know, I mean, the basement is so good, but like you said, it's been worked to death. Yeah, and I'm hoping they go for the TV room again, but maybe they got something else in mind, right? Because this might be the final round for them, and they've got to shake it up a little bit because they can't just keep doing the same thing they've been doing that's not working.
Yeah, exactly. They got to think something new. Hopefully, it's not the top floor because that would be weird.
No, that would not be the ideal spot.
Maybe we'll see that split bomb site again. Maybe we'll see kitchen trophy as you mentioned.
I'm hoping split. I think they could do interesting things on split.
Yeah, I think split could be quite nice to watch as well. As it is, still waiting on 2 members of Trinity to come on back in. Where the hell did you go?
Taking a quick smoke break breather, getting prepared to try and finish this off with one more round.
Better not be because they're not allowed. It's not a chance for a break.
Yeah.
It's just a rehost because of a crash. So they better come in soon if that's the case. As it is though, Orbit all back on in. Snake back from his crash is comfortably looking and ready to go again. We've seen some impressive shots from both people. The last time that Trinity even defended this round, it was a 2-man effort. It was Pojo Man, it was King George TV and Mint with that Valkyrie and that smoke.
Surprising.
But chances of that happening over again are very, very low. They got to put it all on the team, and now they're coming to push in aggressively. Pojo Man's Blackbeard hasn't really been a huge impact at all with these pushes into the basement, if that's what's coming their way. Just been looking for these peeks around the corners, hasn't really been finding the shots, and it's been scrappy, aggressive pushes from people like Kicks on Ash when Orbit are attacking, or Mint doing a similar kind of thing. We saw some interesting new Thermite plays pushing in towards B, but again, Pojo Man just couldn't find the kill onto Kicks waiting inside the back of that B site. Every round has seen a slight change, whereas we saw Penta and Sisu trying to do the same thing, and they were just doing the same thing and butting heads because it's the same row. These guys are changing things little bits from round to round, but each one of them is just falling at the final hurdle.
I mean, I'm surprised. We're seeing the same setups, the same areas, but the fights are ending up so different, and that's what I love about this game.
No, so here it is. They're back into the game and loading on through. Orbit and Trinity. TV room kitchen is the selection Orbit are hovering on right now. They still got a couple of chances to change.
Nothing really
Don't do it.
changing up on the lineup as well. It's been working for both teams to an extent,
locate and defuse bombs.
but not as well for Orbit.
There you go then.
Looks like they do want to go with this instead of the split, unfortunately. They still aren't going to bother with Bandit here. Just going to let that dining wall be opened. I don't even know if it really pays off much to reinforce it. It's not like Thermite really needs his 2 charges unless he's going to try and blow garage wall as well.
Yeah. But hey ho. It's
Might as
10
well,
points.
Yeah, you got something to do during this phase, I guess, other than set up your trophy systems.
5 seconds left before
Orbit
insertion.
leaving 4 people downstairs. Last time they did this and they had that full coverage in that square.
Attackers recovered the
And they had
diffuser.
Canadian upstairs,
Attackers
and
must
look what
locate
it
and
is.
defuse
Canadian
the
is up
bomb.
top again.
Surprise, surprise.
So they are sticking to what they know.
Yeah. Well,
New camera feed activated.
Oh,
a lot of
Canadian still cracking open the last couple of holes. He's not got many a shot left.
good last throw of that black eye, but hopefully no one saw it.
She's still got plenty of ammo. He didn't make any holes upstairs. Comes on in and we'll put a C4 underneath the floor in this corner. That's the doorway on the 2nd floor.
Hopefully he's got a camera for it as well.
Yes, he threw that up there when we first jumped to him. That drone is here and wasn't turned on, so we wouldn't have seen him.
Canadian's definitely someone who likes C4ing from below, so this doesn't surprise me in the least.
No. It's a strong spot as well. He's now making a couple more holes downstairs if anyone looks to push in from this angle on him.
Shooting the door like that does give away a little bit, hey, there might be someone down here.
I think that's the idea. The way that he's now moving away from it.
Scare tactics.
Yeah. So they see it, and they are cautious about coming in that way. There's the camera, looking at the C4.
The attackers
Come on in, guys.
Sees it
And
open.
too late.
Way
Oh.
too late. He was right above K9's head, but he had to move away to be in a safe spot, and it does not go down in time at all.
Was a nice try, though.
Someone else needs to be on that camera to tell him when it is. It's just too slow coming off your camera animation to
Yeah.
then blow it. You don't have the time.
Even Pulse can be like that, trying to come off his device to actually do some shooting.
Thankfully, there's that nice little switch button with Volstone. You
Yep.
just scroll wheel and hey ho, instant weapon.
Just gotta practice that.
Yeah. K9 now looking out front. It's easy peasy's drone is literally right there in front of him. It's hidden inside the
It's just
trophy system.
Baiting him. No, the trophy
Does
system.
take out both of them. It's a
Sacrifices.
interesting tactic. Forces him to do one or the other. The trophy system had 2 charges left, so
Now the grenades can come right in, as they do. Nicely played by Easy Peasy.
but he does get hidden. King George taking a little bit of damage now as he's on the stairs below, and Canadian is looking to push for him. Remember, the scoreline is 4-3 in favor of Trinity. Takes out that camera. Might bait Canadian around a little bit, but no.
He's waiting for it, though. One of them's going to get impatient.
Yep, and it's got to be King George. He's got the seconds. He looks up just at the wrong second. Throws a smoke grenade in. Canadian is actually not poking around when he does that.
A bomb has been
Canadian's
located.
got the advantage. And
Peeks
oh!
around. Doesn't fire the shot off, but he does get more information as King George spot. Young takes Mint down with his C4. Kicks Will Knife exclusive.
Oh.
Snake.
There we go,
There we
good
go.
timing.
Takes down Pojo Man. King George does kill Kicks as he tries to land on his head, but Canadian will finish him off afterwards with an easy shot. And suddenly, easy peasy lemon squeeze. He's the only man standing to find 4 members of Orbit.
He's going to have to find an
He's
easy
only got
shot.
10 seconds to do it as well, and Snake comes in to get that with ease, and that's overtime force now as Orbit thought it was game over and conveniently crash, but it is
GG.
not. And now I'm looking to rehost it for overtime.
So close.
So 4 rounds to 4. Orbit
Ooh.
could be keeping their technically unbeaten track record.
Definitely not going to be easy for either team to seal this deal. Looks like we're going to go ahead and rehost it.
As we said earlier, the rules for teams asking for a rehost is literally just to back out. So
Yeah.
it's on them to leave. So we will back on our way again and return back to menu for yet another rehost. This time, ladies and gentlemen, we are going on to a short commercial break. It is 4 rounds to 4. Orbit versus Trinity. Map number 2, Hereford Base. We'll be back in a moment with the culmination of this game and the final scoreline right on the edge. In we go then to our overtime rounds. 4 rounds to 4 for either of these two squads. There is still a chance to be saved.
Let's see that orbit aggression.
Protect your bombs from being defused by attackers.
I'm looking for a heavy push here to seal this out.
Down in the basement again, Trinity.
I would like to see a little bit of dismantling and then just an aggressive push into A. But they got to take out the ladder first. And we saw last time Canadian going for that ladder drop. They did want to change it up and kind of clear out ladder first so they didn't get hit by that cross. But got killed in the process by that surprising King George shotgun push. See if King George can pull that off if they try it again. They got to be expecting a little bit more this time.
5
A lot of
seconds to
Trinity
insertion.
players still on the floor above for now. Are they going to head on down?
Attackers
Or
have recovered their diffuser.
are we seeing
Attackers
something
must locate
different
and
here?
defuse a bomb.
Down they go.
Down they go.
Down they go.
A little bit of late drone in here by Kicks. Believe he catches nothing up there. Everyone down here. Got 3 men in B site this time.
I think Exclusive's going to reposition in a minute. He's just put a trophy system down.
Yeah.
No, he's going to stay there. So he's watching the... So Exclusive is watching the cross from the A door. And then Mint is watching the stairs. Or will be. So they're very close, but different. Close, but different.
Friends.
Close, but not.
Yeah. Just like the previous rounds.
C4's already coming in. Thermocharge is already there to open up the single door as Kicks gets a beautiful shot onto King George. That's the stairs opened up. King George grabbed 3 kills from there last time around, and that's a big deal here for the push here from Orbit.
Good start for
Getting
Orbit.
control of those stairs is a big step for them.
The attackers bomb diffuser
Now, if
has been
Canadian
dropped.
wants to, he could probably open up that drop.
Kicks gets inside. This time he
Oh,
takes
good.
out the cameras, now controlling lockers.
He's
He's got
like,
a nice
"What's
big
that
hole
for?"
over the top, and the flashbangs are going to lead the charge. He will then go in. Mint is
gotta see
repositioned away. He's going to just
So
about miss him
close.
going through the doorway. Heads across to another angle. He's going to now blow the barbed wire through that hole. Looks for another camera, finds it.
Thought he
Easy
was going to
pistol.
shoot that with his ash charge for a second there.
Now does the one at the back end of the room too. Still cautious in this room. Neither of them revealing himself. The stairs though are clear and there's a prone man on it. Fall animation comes out. Lines himself up.
Attackers have located a bomb.
Just tanked up.
He's planning something. And
Well, whatever
for
it was,
way
it's
too
over.
long.
Mint with a beautiful shot from inside the back
Nicely
sight.
done. Can't just stand there forever.
Now we're real position back around again.
Nice
C4's
C4.
over towards the lockers, dodges the bullets that come at him from stairs. But the C4 doesn't touch a single soul. Young is still here prone. Actually allowing that to go off is a slight screw up on his part.
Yeah.
But no damage done, so he's forgiven. Canadian now, the man with the diffuser, is outside of the lockers.
Looks
Looking
like
through
they
the
wanna-
small gap at where Mint did kill his teammate for. Waiting for Mint to peek, but they got 45 seconds. Will he do it in that time?
They kind of want to replicate that locker push that T3 pulled off.
No barbed wire in here, so he can get a nice sprint across the gap.
Go
He's
for
going
it.
to give it a go, but Exclusive says
Oh.
nope. And gets the job done, puts him down.
Nicely done. They've got some angles going here.
Got a now even smaller angle again. Young is still on the stairs, covering any other crosses.
Is he going to see him? So
Young gets
close.
Pojo Man as he tries to stick out, and it goes back to being a 3v3. Easy
So
peasy
good.
now watching the same hole. Exclusive there too. They're going to put in and take him down. Exclusive
Oh.
gets 1-2, and Mint gets Young as he tries to come down the
Exclusive.
stairs.
Attackers eliminated.
Trinity
Save the day.
holding on firm. The prone, I like the idea of, all right, you go to sprint across the way, I'll go in prone in front of him and fire back, and he can only get one. No, he can get 2 of us because you literally went prone through his spray, and he was already prone, so it's not a big adjustment for his aim to switch from one to the other.
It was well executed though. That's not something that's
The timing
necessarily
was
easy to pull
nicely
off.
done,
Yeah.
yes. The timing was very well done. And as a result, Trinity get that advantage of 1 round.
Wow.
Orbit now, TV room and kitchen is their defensive choice as they head
Defenders, protect your bombs from
into
attackers.
the floor above to try and hold on.
Playday 7 does not disappoint. See if they've got a good plan for this one that we saw last time. Some interesting plays on this bomb spot as it's a little more dynamic than the bottom.
Did also just successfully win it, which did force out and bring out the overtime.
See if they can replicate that and just continue that overtime.
10 seconds
Leaving
left.
3 downstairs once again. Upstairs, we're bringing Canadian with a trapdoor reinforcement to be done.
5 seconds left before insertion.
And he is the only man. Everyone else is down here. Kicks out to
Attackers
rejoin.
recovered the
Canadian
bomb
also now
diffuser.
coming down to join his
Attackers
team.
must locate and defuse
And
the
all
bomb.
5 of them are here on the bomb site level, but might not last that way. Kicks is still doing a couple of trophy systems. Canadian's still doing a couple of cameras, and they have time to reposition elsewhere.
Is Canadian going to try that C4 again? Maybe have someone else work the camera this time? Is he going for that drone on the trophy system again? Looks like he might want to. Canadian does go over here, but not throwing the C4 up. And the wall's already open.
Yeah, wall behind open. That means Young now has to be in a very cautious spot watching this angle.
Not sure where they give it up so easy, but I guess, you know, they just don't want to change Bandit for anyone else they got in their lineup.
Holding inside A as well. Young still watching that hole, and Trinity actually pushing in from this angle quite hard and firm.
Well, he's spotted.
Babes in position.
But not going to let him have it so easy.
Yeah, you can just smoke charge it out. Trinity do have to try something different because their previous attacks on this round, of course, resulted in failure. So now coming through this doorway is their different idea. They do spend some time there, but have now repositioned away. Moved again towards the garage. Snake is inside, and the window's being sprayed open, and actually taking a lot of tags from him there. No, he's not. He's inside the B side. Never mind. He's using that sensor through the wall.
Attackers have dropped the bomb diffuser.
That's what you want to do with it.
Recovered their
Yep,
diffuser.
does
Exactly
catch
what
the
he's
2 of them
doing.
outside the window.
Nicely played.
Now they're inside. Catching exclusive on the wall with that thermite charge blowing open into the kitchen itself. That's now we're behind. Young gets the first kill of the round though. It's on its easy peasy lemon squeezy. He's trying to come in from behind. Asuna Chan removed from fair fight, dirty cheater.
Justice.
As King George has opened up this other hallway here
Attackers have
at the
located
top
a
of the
bomb.
stairs. King George's drone finds Snake inside B.
Oh, there goes his pulsing.
Exclusive, and Pojo trying to find the same spots
Shoot the
here.
back of Blackbeard's head at this rate.
Yeah, that won't go down too well. Looking for Young across the other side. Mint out the front is looking for anyone looking to rotate between bomb sites, but no one has any need to until Exclusive can get in there with the plant. And with 45 seconds on the clock, he's still deciding to drone a little way. Going to drone underneath him, check everything down there. Now he finds Canadian.
Canadian again.
Canadian spots him. Kojo man looking to deal with it. Kojo stops to shoot the drones. He's on the reload. Smoke grenades are coming down instead. The flashbang's coming down now. They need to try and deal with him. He flashes himself there, Exclusive. Now looking to head inside with the smoke grenades in tow. 20 seconds on the clock. He sprints across to the back of the room. He's going to get right into behind the A site, and he's going to get a good plant down here. King George watching one angle. Pojo man watching the main cross from the doorway. Canadian comes up and gets down, but
and
kicks
the
will
smoke.
stop Exclusive. King George gets the knife on Snake. Pojo man gets down K9 though, and it is now down to a 2-man defense with only Pojo man and Mint left standing for the attacking team. Second on the clock, and it's not going to be enough. An Orbit hold to take it to our final round again. Just like Clubhouse, it is 5 rounds to 5.
My
Clubhouse
goodness.
went to Trinity, 6-round, 5 victory. Where is this going? On the spot prediction.
I don't think Orbit want to give it up so easy, but if they just choose poorly, I mean, they managed to pull off the attack on this bomb spot with just 2 guys left in a dire situation. I have some faith they could do it, but you know what? I feel like all my faith in Orbit has been slightly misplaced a lot tonight, so I'm going to say T3 are going to take it.
T3, they're
Hedge my
defending the TV and kitchen room themselves. Having held the basement already, they can't do it again. To be completely honest, this is a good thing for Orbit.
Yeah.
We've seen it time and time again. We talked about it in Europe with Youngtis too. The team that goes undefeated all season goes into playoffs thinking, we're the best.
Yeah.
We're gods. And doesn't really take their training as seriously. Even
Very
if they
true.
think they do, they don't. Now, losing even just this many rounds should, if they've got the right kind of mindset and aren't just arrogant
10
asses,
seconds left.
shake them up to the point that, hang on a minute guys, we aren't
5
untouchable.
seconds left.
We are not the best of the best without practice.
Definitely.
Attackers
Time now
Attackers are
to
heading out
rethink a
defuse
little.
the bomb.
I think it's time for them to do some scrims with T3, obviously.
Yeah, scrim with T3. You are the North American contingent going forward into the Pro League playoffs. Get ready to play against Europe
Steal yourselves.
and make each other as best as you can possibly make each other.
That's what we need from North America. Working together.
So, the round to decide it all. Exclusive and King George on the middle floor. Pojo Man and Easy Peasy on the bottom floor. Mint, once again on the top floor. Throws his C4 out into the room below. Doesn't touch a soul, but he will be cut to pieces by Kickstar, who's very quickly inside onto the top floor to help him out.
Too focused on that drone.
Orbit figured it out. They knew what Mint was going to do onto this floor. He did it the last round, and they weren't ready for it this time. However, they were, and punished him for it. Cracking those windows, not really letting him get anything from it, and there when he's trying to run away again.
That's what you do. Punish them for repeating their
Now
plays
he's looking
from
to come to the floor below. We're Exclusive and King George are waiting for him. Killhole in towards the bathtub is where he's looking for one. Snake is then going to come in behind. It's going to be Exclusive they're pinning in on. Exclusive turns to run away. There he turns to look for Snake, and back of his head exposed 2 kicks beautifully. King George now inside, immediately chooses to drop down in towards A as that drone comes his way. Pojo Man in the B site now is looking to orbit Young out the front edge, and Easy Peasy in the piano room. He's just holding and waiting for the push to come forward down the main corridor.
They're just clearing out top to bottom.
King George gone down even further now in towards the staircase, as Orbit have very fast control of the upper floors. And when there's 3 to clear, you've got to do it with speed because of how little room you have to maneuver. Grenade goes off around Pojo Man's head, but it's not a whole lot of damage. Does force him to move and rethink though.
King George has the right idea. If they're pushing top to bottom, go below.
Kicks is doing work. He comes in and takes Easy Peasy down now. We're going to ride him more when he goes downstairs. He does flick the shots on towards King George at the right second, but the second shotgun blast finishes him off before he does enough to King. King George on 10 HP now. Pojo Man looking to try and stop the plant. Does find him and does get the shot from range and gets out alive. That's a surprise. Orbit let down their guard a little bit after their early rounds.
They're getting killed constantly trying to plant there by those holes in the wall. It's the second time that's happened to them.
Pojo Man dropping into the ladder room, and now King George and he are in the same spot together. Diffuse has been picked up by K9. He's going to go to a slightly smarter place.
Yeah, please.
Snake is inside the TV room watching the stairs. Now as King George sprints up and gets down first. Now he looks for the second man.
So close.
Cannot get that kill, but neither can the Pulse. Pulse finally comes around and does get the kill, but he's low now himself. The diffuser is being successfully done. Pojo Man drops to the basement again.
Looking for that rotate flank.
So 1v2. Orbit looking to keep their technically unbeaten record here and forcing out a draw. Sees the man right above him. The C4's going straight up. It's going to blow up right next to K9 to take him down. Now let's go on board with Canadian. He's outside. Still over half of the defuse time left to go in 1v1. Pojo Man has no health and a shotgun. Canadian knows all he has to do is stay at range. Pojo heads on upstairs. The window is open. He's going to leap straight out, and he looks the wrong way. Canadian with a free shot and a free round. Orbit, take the round, take the draw, get themselves a point, and end on 19 this season.
That was quite the ending, too. A lot of desperation, a lot of missed shots, and crazy firefights. That's how you end it.